Hello traders, this is Gary Odom with testedwisdom.com. Today I would like to present to you a small video discussing the Tested Wisdom SRT. A little history. The SRT used to stand for something. It used to stand for Support Resistance Trader. But we discovered through our years of testing that that really wasn't the best way to look at these zones. The best way was to look at them as bearish and bullish support zones. They made a whole lot more sense, and once you understand how to read them, you'll see what we're talking about. I recently saw a video on YouTube's about support and resistance, whatever he called them, walls or whatever it was, and frankly he left me totally confused. And believe me, I know a thing or two about reading price action, but I said, this is ridiculous. Ours is much simpler. It tells you a lot better information than what they were using. They were using purely some highs and low points on the price swings, which is not the best way to measure bearish and bullish support zones. We have our own proprietary formulas that take in several things, including volume and different candlestick formations and different price actions and strengths and averages and that sort of thing. And there's many different ones, different mini scenarios, and it goes through and tests all those scenarios to find if one fits. I am sure that we haven't covered all of them, but we certainly have covered enough to give you a really good idea of what price is going to do. Now I'm going to start what I've done. What I've done is I've gone on demand. As you well know, we're replaying previous data, and it gives us exactly what it would have given us in live trading. But we're not trading live. We're not even trading. We're simply going to be looking at price action and how to understand the SRT. Now I've got the 1 minute chart up here, and I'm going to run it at 3 times the speed of the 1 minute chart, which essentially turns it into a 20-second chart with 1 minute candles, if that makes any sense. And perhaps then we can get everything in about a 15-minute video or so. So let us go with it. I'm going to start now. We're going to start the on-demand now. And we are running, and it is 6:02 in the morning. And we see some bullish zones and some bearish zones. We see a bullish zone that was created right here, and we see that price is respecting that zone by having the following candles showing some movement in the direction that agrees with the zone. However, it is also at the bottom of a big long swing. This could be nothing more than a little retrace of this move. So we want to watch it and make sure. It went through another bullish zone and got a pop when it did. So that's a good sign. And if it goes to the top of this, we no longer need to be concerned about a retrace. Well, as you can see, we did get a big red candle, which is perfectly okay. We expect that. That's the way price action works. It doesn't run in V's, straight down and straight up. It has its jaunting little journey that he does to get to where it wants to go, and it's all driven by the traders who are buying and selling this very same symbol that you're looking at, and it's also what creates these zones. Now I anticipate that this will eventually be a bullish move. I say that because we have bullish support here, and bullish support there. With that much stacked bullish support, I'm pretty sure that it's going to go right on up through this upper zone eventually. I may be wrong, but we shall see. One thing about it, if I'm wrong, it hadn't cost me anything because we're not in a position and I'm not betting on anything. I'm simply saying the way I'm reading price now, based on the SRT and only on the SRT, we can expect a bullish run. Not without some bearish interference, however. And I'm sure we'll see that. How long have we been in this trade? It says 609, so we've actually been in it 3 minutes because, like I say, we're running triple the speed. Okay, took a nice little pop up, which would indicate that this bullish move is going to continue. It broke through this zone here, and the only thing we need to be concerned about is this bearish support zone right here. It may hesitate there, and that's kind of a way we can define these. These are zones to watch to see how price is going to respond to. Now you have no way of knowing that right here, whoops, chart moved, right here at 11.99.20 just might be one of those areas if you didn't have the SRT. There's nothing that would indicate that on this chart. So it went ahead and returned, which again is to be expected. When you have a run up that way, you always get the first retrace. Generally stops being taken out or whatever. I kind of thought that this would be a dry session, but frankly, it's not unlike trading. You know, trading is extended moments of absolute boredom accentuated by totally chaos and panic. Is that right? Well, it shouldn't be. If we've got our trading plan in order and we've got a good trading program, it should be very calm, cool, collected through the whole thing. And that's essentially what I'm doing now. Is I'm just waiting to see for this thing to develop. It built on the top of this bullish zone. It went into this bullish zone. It built on top of that. It broke through. The bears pushed it back, but they haven't taken command. We've got a little battle between the bulls and the bears here. I'm still convinced it's going to break out and continue on up. See, the only break we had really was this one candle, and it came back. This little dot up here, because it's only a third of a minute. Well, actually, that's a minute. It just happens every 20 seconds. We're in a time warp, so to speak. Okay, this candle here is a real bullish candle with this long wick on the bottom. It took a pop up, and immediately the bears jumped on it. Says, no, 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 we don't want that. We want it going the other way. But I don't think they're going to win this battle. We have too much bullish support here. This is a bearish support zone. If they respect that zone, and we may have to rethink this, but I don't think they will. I don't think it at all, and the only reason I'm just highlighting this previous zone. Yes, it's still good. Nothing wrong with looking back on your charts. See what happened at that point. Looking to the left, as an old mentor used to say to me, always look to your left. So what's going to happen on the right, it's going to depend on what happened on the left, is what he used to say. So here we are, waiting for price to evolve into a real bullish move. I'm still saying it's going to do it. I think we're going to have a pop out and some good runs for maybe 3 or 4 candles, and that will be our signal. We're moving along pretty good. It's real early morning hours, and volume really sucks at this time of the day. And without volume, moves are harder to predict. Volume is part of the formula for creating these zones. As you can see, it was a volume peak here, and that created one. And generally speaking, that you will have, not necessarily, but generally speaking, you will have a volume peak when it forms, unless it's based on one of the other formulas, which would be based movement on something else. We're not going to have a whole lot of momentum in this market right now, because volume is the fuel that drives momentum, and we simply don't have it. We're just watching price action. And like I said from the beginning, this is going to be a bullish move. Had we gotten in at that very point, and I'm I'm not saying that we should have. We should rely on the power trader to actually give us our signals for entry. But had we gotten in when we got that second candle on the breakout, we would still be in good shape. I have a friend in Canada that trades exactly that way. I keep telling him it wasn't written to do that, but it works for me, Gary. It works for me. So I'm not going to argue with him. He's making money. Here we go. Now we're starting to get some good action on the bullish candles. Kind of resembles this one and that one, and not these little bitty things. Now look at here. On this red candle, a bearish support zone was formed. We got a green candle contesting it. The bears drove it back down, made a red candle. Now the bulls have taken over that same candle and pushed it back up. So I anticipate that this zone will not be effective in holding price down. We just don't have any bearish looking candles here. They're all bullish looking. Just look at the wicks. They'll give you a pretty good idea. The wicks show you that they tried to drive it down and they were unsuccessful. When you get a wick the other way around, like this one right here, they tried to drive it up, but they were unsuccessful. They came back. So you see it opened and then popped up. The bears are not being fruitful in their attempts to change price direction. So we're going bullish. I don't think there's anything that's going to stop it. I think we're going bullish all the way up to here. Somewhere. I don't know if we'll make the top of this candle, but I believe, well, we got to break this zone too, so I'm not sure. But let's put it this way. If it breaks this zone and it breaks that zone, it will break this zone. Okay, we're about 12 minutes into this video. I don't want it to run too long, but I'd like you to see the culmination of this trade. We'll give it another 3 or 4 minutes, and if it's not completed, I'll go ahead and advance the on demand. But I kind of wanted you to see the candles and how they form up and what they do. And nothing of any significance is happening right now. These are just candles that's marking time, not any price action. Now we're starting to get some movement. Now you notice it got a wick up top. That's not a good sign for a bullish movement, but it's certainly not the kiss of death either. And we had 2 of those in a row. Strangely enough, you notice the 3 candles here on the left all line up. Look what it lines up to over here on the left. So it's gonna break through. It's gonna do just what these did. Bangity bangity bang. It just has a little more issue there of interference that it's got to get over, and it'll be just fine. Remember again that these zones, the bullish zones, the bearish zones, are just zones to alert you that price has some decisions to make at that point. And for you to take note and notice how it reacts to that zone. It's very important. It's not a prediction of what price is going to do, other than the fact that it's going to make a decision. That price is going to come to decision. Over here on the left, you had this zone that was created who knows where, way back. Price come up, it respected it, came down, then it respected the bullish zone. Well, that kind of causes a consolidation, and you got one on top and one on bottom. And finally it went back here, and when it broke, and it broke resoundingly, it took off, blasting right through these bearish zones like they were almost weren't there. And it reached the top, and of course when you get up to, I like to say, at high altitude, the oxygen gets thin. Look here, look what's happening over here. We're just breaking out and running just like I said it would as soon as it broke through these two red zones. It broke through that one, and it's breaking through that one. I expect it'll break through that one as well, and we're on our way. It just did. Get another candle above that, and we're looking for the next zone, and we went through it already. And one more to go, and then we get in the rarefied air. That may be the one it respects. You never know. Like I said, it is a zone where price has to make a decision. And it looks like it may be making that decision off of this zone. Well, if you were in the trade and you had profit and you wanted to get out at this point, there'd be no shame in that, because there's a reason to get out. The reason is this price is halting. It has to make some decisions, and you are unsure as to what the decision might be. Or, I mean, you're not a lot at risk right now as far as how much price is moving. You can say, I'm going to wait until I get a confirming candle either above or below that zone. And right now, you don't have one. It's split in that zone. You want a confirming candle, I mean, like if this candle right now closed at a green, and we got another green, and that would be a confirming candle. But these are just split in the zone, so it's kind of the battle. Now, if we get a green candle here, then that would be confirmation that it broke the zone. But we didn't. We got a red one. Well, our video's at 17 minutes now, and this is going to just run out longer and longer. And it may be consolidating around this zone for a while. So rather than just sitting here staring at candles that's just going up and down in the same place, I'm going to terminate this video. The purpose of the video was to teach you how to read these zones and what they meant. Nothing more. It was not to find a successful trade. It was simply to look and see how price was working and how it did react to these zones. And I think we've done that. If you have any questions, send me an email, support@testedwisdom.com. I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have. Support@testedwisdom.com. Have a good day and happy trading.